It's Easter Sunday, March 26, 1967. But instead of a sunrise service and quiet hymns, you hear the thunder of helicopter blades over the rice fields of Vietnam. Helicopters from the 175th and the 114th Assault Helicopter Companies descend carrying nearly 200 soldiers into what they think is a routine mission. It isn't. Within minutes, gunfire explodes from below, and 3 helicopters are shot down. More than 500,000 rounds are fired. And by the end of the day, over 200 people are dead. And yet, this is Easter. Now, when we think about Easter, we think about hope. We think about resurrection. We think about love that refuses to give up. But those ideas can feel distant, like they belong in churches, not on battlefields. And yet, that day in Vietnam tells a different story. In the middle of chaos, one pilot, Warrant Officer John Meyer, was shot down. And then he was shot down a second time. Severely wounded, he lay alone in enemy territory for hours. And here's the question that matters. Why would anybody go back for him? But they did. See, helicopters crews turned around again and again, flying straight back into the gunfire. Not because it was safe, not because it was logical, but because someone was still out there. There's a word for that: empathy. Not the soft, easy kind, the hard kind. The kind that shows up when it costs you something. See, research actually tells us something powerful about this. Even under the extreme stress, empathy is one of the strongest predictors of whether someone will help another person. In other words, when everything falls apart, what holds us together is how much we care about one another. Hours later, against all odds, John Meyer was found alive. His fellow soldiers described it this way: he came back from the dead. And that's when this story stops being about war and starts sounding a lot like Easter. Because Easter is the story of someone who didn't stay down. It's the story of Jesus Christ, who suffered and who was crucified and who rose again. But more important than that, it's a story about love that refuses to leave people behind. John 15:13 says this: "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends." See, that love isn't abstract. It showed up in a rice field in Vietnam, in pilots who turned back, in soldiers who refused to give up on one another. Now, most of us will never face a battlefield, but we'll face moments where empathy feels inconvenient, where it's easier to walk away, to stay silent, and to choose ourselves. And in those moments, the question is the same: do we go back? Because Easter isn't just something that happened once. It's also something we live. Every time we check on someone who's struggling, every time we stand by someone when it's unpopular, every time we choose compassion when it would be easier not to, we step into that same story. So let me take you back to where we started. Easter Sunday, helicopters in the sky, chaos on the ground, over 200 lives lost, and yet one man, against all odds, brought back. In the middle of destruction, there was resurrection. Not just in a miracle, but in a decision to care, a decision to act, a decision to go back. And maybe that's what Easter is asking us. When someone is hurting, when someone is lost, and when someone is still out there, will you go back for them like Christ did for you and me? Thank you.